Sorry, Mondu. I had to win there. I'm just kidding. No, it was just being broken. So. Hey, Mondu, BB, Kalali, Atlam. No, it posted twice, so it like tripped me out, so I deleted it and then reposted it. Oh my goodness, I'm laughing right now. Hey, Sabka, Rev, welcome. Okay, so y'all are getting music and voice through right now. Want to double check. You can't hear my voice. Shh. Mondu. I'm waiting for Steam still. I'm not seeing it. I've got Twitch, I've got TikTok, I've got Facebook, I've got YouTube. I have got Twitter, but I've not got Steam. Come on, Steam. Going direct to the source. Well, we'll wait a minute. Cool. Awesome. Everyone is hearing me. That is good. That's important. So, just want to say welcome before we jump into the damn challenge. And I also want to say there was a lot of really good entries. So thank you for everyone that participated. I know this might sound cheesy, but you all were winners in my mind. But at the end of the day, can only be one winner, so. You know, Sabka, sometimes it's about them being tricky, though, you know what I mean? That's the thing. The point of the challenge is to step outside of your own comfort zone and do something you may not normally do. Make a map that may not even be something you would consider. So, I always leave the music quiet for several reasons. I want music there, but I want it so quiet that A, it kind of evades any chance of getting like a copyright issue. Even though the music is definitely safe, copyright safe, sometimes there are issues with sites that will flag it, like do a false positive, or like a false positive of a copyright strike, and you have to contest it. It just takes forever, so it's a pain. I try to avoid that by keeping it light. That also helps because if I'm talking, would you rather hear me or would you rather hear the music? I mean, at the end of the day, you guys are here to learn about Dungeon Alchemist, not listen to a playlist. So if I am talking, I'm sure you want to hear it. Now, some of you, if you don't want to hear me, I understand that. My voice is probably awful. It's like nails on a chalkboard to some people. So if I'm problematic, maybe you could run me through a filter, like a robot or something. Maybe I should do that. Should I be a robot on stream? My voice? So, congratulations to BB on this amazing entry. Solstice, winning the Celebration Dam Challenge. There was a lot of great entries. And this one just had a bit of uniqueness to it that really stood out. And one thing I really loved is this hay like maze over here, because it is straight up legit. And then it also made me smile because I just thought of Hay Place from The Office. The other thing I really liked was that there's like this whole inner area with a ritual inside of the tree. Yes, Yes, congratulations, BB. Hay Place was a big inspiration. Good. It's a place for hay. So, I'm glad it was an inspiration for it. Honestly, I thought the map was charming. I really enjoyed it, and I checked it in a couple different times a day, and I thought it really just... It has a lot of spirit. It's a good map. I think you did a great job. Got little stages for people to play, little areas for people to dance and socialize, get food and drink. I really appreciated these little like kind of open spaces that where you drew in floor plan but left it open so you could use, you know, this hay and kind of dirt patch floor types instead of using the terrain types. It's very creative. But I think my favorite part was the maze. Just through and through. I don't know how y'all feel, but I really love the maze. I get you, Sabka, and I'm sorry if the challenge theme was a little bit struggle bus. I know I saw a few people in the damn challenge chat say they were kind of racking their brain trying to come up with a solid idea. So I appreciate those that put in the extra effort. You know, in my head, I thought celebration would be easy. And honestly, like, I could see how it'd be struggle and, like, frustrating. Mainly because you want to stand out and have something that's different, right? Excuse me. Mondu, dude, I've done that 100 times. One time I streamed for like a solid hour where I was muted and my camera was off and I was just playing a game and people were in my chat and talking but never said that they couldn't hear me. I have no idea. I was so flustered. I was like, why did they just assumed I didn't want to talk that day? And well, they were being respectful of my space. I don't know, as a streamer, it was kind of nice to know that my viewers were like, hey, Mac doesn't want to be seen today, doesn't want to be heard, he's just gonna game. Don't need to question him, but I didn't even know. They couldn't hear me the whole time. Honestly, the hay maze is what sold me on this, but what really got me is this, like, hidden area that the hay maze leads to with the ritual in the center. I thought this was killer. You're hiding, like, a whole extra space inside of the tree, which I thought was amazing. It's a beautiful map. And what I really enjoyed is when you flip it to, like, nighttime. You get out here, the maze is a little dark, a little scary, but you got a little bit of light around from the pyres. I just think this has just got that festival feel, for sure. Or like a celebration, solstice, festival, party, all those things kind of fit into that block. I think it's a great build overall. Very impressed with it. So congratulations, BB Skate, and thank you for sharing this map with the community. Give yourself, take your hand like this and pat yourself on the back a few times, courtesy of Mac. And also, like, if any of you are looking at the map and enjoying it, I would love to hear your feedback as well on the build. And by the way, we will be looking at all the entries throughout the stream today. So if you had an entry in the damn challenge and you are, you know, eager to see your map shown, please just be aware that we will get to it shortly at some point. We try to show the winning map for at least, you know, 20, 30 minutes before we move on to other maps. Yeah, I noticed Steam finally popped. It took a while. Welcome, Steam. How are you? I know we got a few people watching on Steam. I know they like to kind of lurk and be quiet and do their thing, so that's fine. But I just wanted to say welcome and that I appreciate you watching and checking us out. My name is Mac. I'm the community manager for Dungeon Alchemist. So if you have any questions related to what you're seeing on stream, feel free to chime in chat, and I will do my best to provide you assistance, support, guidance, etc. I think that's the thing. A lot of times people will, you know, get to the kind of the cusp of finishing and kind of give up as they see other entries coming in. And I encourage you all to don't get frustrated or discouraged. Just push through and submit your work, because at the end of the day, remember, you're challenging yourself to, push yourself to new limits as a cartographer, and then you're also sharing your build with the community to enrich it as a whole. All of these maps go up on the workshop, and then they can be potentially used by anyone in our community who's looking for something that might be celebration themed. I mean, considering it looks like it was strung together around this big party tree, which is probably the place where they do this ritual, every year or whenever. But then they threw, in my mind, these people, this group of people, use this space to host this festival because it's like a sacred site, or, a site of importance. Let's just say that. That's kind of how I saw it in my mind, especially when you have the whole ritual going on in the center. I heard you got a copy now. Welcome to the Dam Fam, or should I say Damnation, or the Damily. I'll let you decide on what family do you want to be in, what class. I let everyone kind of decide when they get their copy of DA. Random Ladybird, I love your maps, I'll be honest. Whenever you share them, they're always very wholesome. The Damily. So the Damily one is funny because I'm basically kind of leaning on the whole just the straining, like, corporate culture where they say we're a family. But I'm more like joking about it from What We Do in the Shadows, where Colin Robinson says it to like siphon people's energy, but I'm saying we're a Damily. We're a Damily here. Sky Birdie, you like the Damnation personally? Yeah, everybody's got their preference. I like how there's several options now. So you got, as I said before, the Dam Fam, and then Damily, and then Damnation. Damn Fam, and see, we just let everyone choose and be wherever they want to be. It works. We're all damned. The Damned is another good one, I guess. And we should be the damned. Damn fan? Interesting. How you doing, Vince? Ooh, I didn't notice this little kind of fortune teller sitting here. This has got a lot of neat touches to it, for sure. I love the stables over here. I am good. I'm good. Thank you for asking. This is one of my favorite assets in Dungeon Alchemist because of how it like animates. If you're not familiar with this, check this out. It seals all up, right? And you can insert images all around it. Ah, that is you, BB. That's your logo, right? From your stream stuff. Balms, elixirs, potions, spells, tonics. Finest quality and highly potent apothecary. I love it. That's fantastic. Okay. And then you press the play button and then it like opens up and it rises, and it just reminds me of like those kind of like definitely kind of a bit of a snake oily kind of vibe, but it's fun and like, I don't know, it's just, so there was this movie I loved when I was growing up. I don't know if many of you have seen it. I guess it's a pretty popular Disney film. Um, Bed Knobs and Broomsticks. And there's this dude in the show who essentially is like a snake oil salesman kind of peddling his wares about about downtown London. And he has like this pop-up like trunk that has like legs, and then it flips open and has all these things pop up, and he could sell stuff on it, right? And it was just like, in a flash, if maybe police or people got frustrated with him, he could close it up and just run away. And something like this kind of reminds me of that. It's just got that kind of that feel to it. I've always loved this asset for that reason. But I love that you put the personal touches to it, because not many do. You can, put in different stuff, potions, fill in all the various pockets with stiff. I like that you put the scale in there and the mortar and pestle. Good touch. You love that movie, Michael or Michelle? Aunt, you were literally just talking about that movie? Oh, yeah. There's a few movies that kind of have that vibe or stories, but I just really love this aesthetic of this asset, but then you really decorated it well, too. Looks like meat's back on the menu. Yeah, there's a lot to eat over here. Hey, they've got veggies, too. So, you got your choice. I also love that you weren't like above using like the plain STL tokens and just throwing a color on them. It actually really adds like an aesthetic to this, that it's like a scene. The Alchemist is your favorite. I think it's awesome. This is one of my favorite tokens, by the way, in like the base set. So pretty much anytime I like throw a token down, it's either this one or the cat wizard, the feline wizard. I also love to platform. Yeah. Let's see if I can lily pad. Made a mistake here. Yes. Yeah. Oh, no. I messed up. I really enjoy that you use the variety of different tokens, and yeah, I don't mind these at all. This just reminds me of my old days of D&D, when it was just like a simple token with like a base paint layer or like a color, or we'd use like army men or something. So like, I'm not above it. It adds an aesthetic. The horseshoes. Yes, you can, Blue. So you can import Hero Forge tokens under one condition. Hero Forge requires that the token must be purchased as a digital model. So not for 3D print, but 3D digital for export for virtual tabletops. So when you if you build a model on Hero Forge, essentially when you have an option to export it for purchase, and there's different options. You could buy a physical token or a digital or a 3D print token option. So you do the digital option, and that would, once it's purchased, then you can import it to Dungeon Alchemist. Essentially, you can link your Hero Forge account and any tokens you've made or and purchase that way, or tokens they give out through their monthly pro like pack. Every month they give away like 5 tokens under their pro plan. Those tokens are also given to you as a digital model, and you can import them to your collection. So if you look here, I actually have some that I made custom. Here is Sarah Sanderson of the Sanderson sisters from Hocus Pocus. Actually, I have several of the Sandersons here. So we have Winifred, Mary, and Sarah here, just hanging out. Oh, for sure. Yeah, they do fit perfectly, huh? This one's after the kids. She's trying to eat it. Oh, too funny. But I collaborated with one of our very prolific map makers and asset creators, Sack, a couple years ago, and we made a Hocus Pocus themed map, and I built these tokens in Hero Forge specifically for that purpose. Um, and then we imported them. I've also built a couple personal tokens over the years on Hero Forge. Like this one here was a changeling artificer I was using in a campaign, and I made it and imported it. It's kind of nice to put into maps. So with regards to Hero Forge tokens, basically you can, if you maybe you lack the ability to sculpt a 3D token, or you don't really want to learn how to do it because you may not have the time or really the ability to, maybe you don't have the equipment, or you just really don't want to for any reason. Hero Forge allows you to build tokens relatively easy in just a few clicks. It's like really simple. My son and I and my wife will build them on our tablet sometimes for fun, just see what we can come up with. You can make tokens for free, but if you want to export them, that's where it costs from them. Now, I will point out we have a partnership with a company called Bite the Bullet. Our last update, they included a bunch of tokens. I'm hoping our next update will include a bunch. I haven't heard anything on this. Last I spoke to Wim, we weren't sure. But I know he was going to talk to Eliza at Bite the Bullet and see what we could do. The other thing is you can also download tokens from the workshop. So a lot of these that you see in this map are from the workshop. And they can be acquired relatively easy. Anyone who owns a full copy of Dungeon Alchemist can do so. Let me show you. If you go to the Steam Workshop tab up here in the top, here, let me turn on the mouse highlighter. Steam Workshop tab in the top, and then you go to Browse Assets. When you're in the asset browser, you can either search, you can divide it up by most popular, most subscribed, most recent, certain time frames. You can see how many objects there are. We hit 7,700. Congratulations, everyone. That's a lot of 3D models to add to your collection. Now, I wouldn't go download all of them because some of them aren't as optimized as others. And when you start downloading every one of them, keep in mind they have to load into your RAM before you load DA. So it's probably best to avoid, downloading everything you see. Just download them as you need them. And when you open maps from the workshop, if there are assets in them, it'll prompt you to download them as well. Now, back to my point, tokens. If you click this here, hey, EncounterSmith, thank you for the like. You click tokens. You can see here, it's got 3 categories. You've got NPCs, monsters, and characters. Basically, there's hundreds of tokens, so 103 there. It was 392, so basically, 400 plus 100, basically, yeah. We're up to 500 already, and then 100, yeah, we're almost, basically, 700-800 tokens available for free that you could download. Some of them are simple, flat gray tokens. Some of them are full color. Some of them are animated. And there's varying style and quality and aesthetic. Some are cyberpunk. Some are, sorry, I lost my train of thought here. Some are sci-fi, some are modern, etc. And these are all shared by our community members so people can download them and use them in their campaigns. Let's say I wanted to add this acolyte to the map. Really quickly, I'll download the acolyte. Place object, put him here, and he's just kind of over here praying. Honestly, we built the ability to browse what's shared. So Steam allows people to share maps or all sorts of stuff through the Steam Workshop. We incorporated the option to share maps and 3D models through the workshop currently, and we may expand that to other things in the future. But as it stands, you can share your maps on the workshop and download other shared maps. There's over 10,000 maps on the workshop. And we recommend browsing through this tab instead of directly through Steam for several reasons. One, it is a little bit more organized this way. It's easier to kind of at a glance see things. And you get, pages and pages of stuff. You can sort by most popular, most recent, etc., or by even by title and information, right? There's this hedge maze here. It's, so you can see all these different things. You can click on them, open them. Good to go. When you open a map, it'll prompt you to download it. If there's any assets in the map from the workshop, it'll prompt you to download those. Everything you need is very guided and simple and easy. This map is added to your subscribed map collection up here, where you could see all the maps you're currently subbed to. At any point, you can unsubscribe from them here. Alternatively, you can do that through Steam, but we've given you an interface to do it all directly through Dungeon Alchemist to save you time. But kind of back to my previous point of adding tokens. We just added this token to the map. It took, moments, and it was free through the workshop browser, the asset browser. Tokens, further subdividing it, just trying to find anything I can add here. Let's add let's add Hendrik. This is one of my tokens that I uploaded, so we'll share him. He's our mascot, but my wife made this for me. I kind of guided her and told her what I wanted. She's really handy with 3D sculpting, and she made him as an alchemist, a mad alchemist. Little cutie. Tags to filter? What do you mean, Sabka? He is kind of chibied, huh? So anything in the description, we do have a plushie Hendrik on the workshop that you can download. We tried to do a plushie makeship campaign, but there just wasn't enough interest from the community to get it solidified. We needed like 30, 40 more people to do it, and it just didn't happen. So what was I getting at here? When you are on the workshop, and you open them, like the assets, the name of it, like how it's written down, these are tags. The description, tags as well. So I encourage anyone uploading assets or maps to the workshop to give it a bold description, give it lots of information. Make sure you separate words with spaces. Make sure you even add your username in here, because you can't search by username through the Steam workshop. It just doesn't allow it. So you can click on their username and look at all their stuff in the workshop, and I hope we add that ability through DA at some point. But if you add your username to your description, that means people can search your name and find it. So some of our users will actually add their username to their the stuff they create, designed by Sack, so people can search it, and find it. Yeah, the Dolmen's pretty cool. Danger Weasel's uploaded a lot of cool kind of... I'm not sure what kind of theme you would put it in, but like prehistoric assets, Bronze Age, early ages, stuff like that. So kind of back to the map. Sorry, I got a little distracted there. It is really easy to get distracted when you're teaching cool things. The workshop, though, is a very valuable tool. I encourage each and every one of you to check it out from time to time. And if you feel bold, share a map once in a while. And remember, your map doesn't need to be perfect to be shared. It just needs to be a map. That's it. So if you made a map for your campaigns, your players enjoyed it, maybe throw it up on the workshop. Share it with everyone. Hey, Sketch, sorry. How many months out do you think before multi-level? I don't have a for sure. I can just only say Q1 2025. So hopefully the next 3 months is the best window I can guesstimate. As we're just barely dipping into the new year, 11 days into the quarter. And I'm looking at kind of what's going on in the background. And especially, I haven't really gotten a for sure date from the devs yet. Really, that's the best window I can give. Did I miss a question? Sorry. So if you want to get into 3D sculpting, my recommendation is try first off tools like Tinkercad, which are free and web-based, very simple to use. They're designed for use by, like elementary school kids. I figure if they can learn it, we most of us here could probably figure it out. That's actually how I learned how to 3D sculpt. And it's web-based, so you could just be on your computer or whatever and then start making 3D models through that. That's how I designed a lot of the 3D models I 3D printed. Oh, hey. We got a guest. 1 second. Hello? Hello? Simba! Yeah, the DA search system is a little bit better than the one in Steam. However, it's still reliant on the Steam search. So despite our best efforts, it still goes through their systems. And the Steam kind of tagging and search and stuff like that is somewhat, let's just say, dated. It definitely could be updated for sure. We got Seymour here. He just had a bath. How's my baby boy? How's my baby boy? That's when you'll always see him. He just comes in usually after his bath to say hi. He gets a bath every Saturday. He has a busy week. He may get another bath during the week depending on how dirty he gets during walks. Yeah, so we gotta keep him clean. He is a snuggle bug. He likes jumping up in everyone's bed, and it's hard to keep him out. I mean, if I let him down, he'd probably have zoomies. But he's also chilly. He's like shivering. He's a good boy. Go sit on the heat pad with mom, okay? Good boy. Whoop. You guys. Ugh. Okay. But Captain Sketch, I'm sorry I don't have a better time frame for you other than Q1. I know that's kind of vague. I have a meeting with the devs tomorrow morning. Or not tomorrow morning, Monday morning, before the Mapmaker Monday stream. And I'm hoping I can kind of coax a launch date out of them during that. That is the... or a launch window, at least. During that time frame. So the hope is that we'll at least during that meeting I get to understand exactly what will all be part of Fun with Objects. We're going to sit down, kind of discuss everything that will be for sure in Fun with Objects. And then we're going to discuss kind of future aspects of DA, kind of our roadmap and what our next step is. And then also the launch window for Fun with Objects. It's going to be a fun meeting. I'm excited. So I'm hoping after that I can really give y'all more concrete data. Fantastic Sketch. One other thing I can say, just stay tuned to our socials and Discord. As soon as we have a launch date, we'll share it there. And we'll start sharing teasers, and the date will be kind of reflected in each teaser. So once we do have a date, we'll let you know. Rev. Right? That baby has a lot of hair, Skybirdie. He is a hairy boy. He's a little wampa, actually. He is having a lot of fun. I am jealous that he has access to these things and can share them, and I can't. I would be sharing them, but my build is not necessarily quite as up to date as his. And by the time I get that, he's already shared it. However, I have been playing with the build and seeing what I can do with it and kind of getting used to it. So when the time comes, I can start launching lots and lots of content. So, let's talk about fun with objects for a moment. Because it's getting closer and closer each day, obviously. Here was a video that Wim shared just the other day. And it really showcases how multi-level is going to be really good going forward. Who knows? Maybe we'll expand our community team at some point. As the product grows, it may need it. You know what I mean? I'll be honest with you though, like it. I think the reason we're so successful is we're such a lean team. You know what I mean? Like I think a lot of indie companies start getting like runaway expenses by expanding their team when they can run a tight ship, so to speak. Yeah, it is nuts, right? But part of the longevity and the guaranteed long-term success of DAA is kind of adhering to that and making sure we don't do too much feature creep or anything that our community like wouldn't be, happy with overall, I'd say. Scope creep. Oh yeah. For sure. Scope creep, feature creep, just getting like runaway projects with things that aren't necessarily. It is nice, Sabka, huh? We got a pretty wholesome community for the most part. We've got the best damn community in the world. This looks really fun. So there's a few things I want to point out in this video. Okay. Look at these little scorch marks here. The scratches, the tallies, the water puddle. Okay. And as you go down to the lower level, you'll notice a few other kind of... you blink and you miss it in this video. Look right here, these scratch marks. Right? So there's a new feature in the next update called the stamp tool. And it's still under development and being kind of fine-tuned and tweaked. And essentially, it'll allow you to paste or like quickly just rapidly paste these decals, stamps, all over the map on different surfaces. And the thing is they adhere to, like, if this scratch was in the corner, it'd be spread across both floors, the wall and the floor. It spreads across all surfaces in the area. And it's very interesting, but it's still kind of being, like, fine-tuned, so we can't fully demonstrate it yet. I'm hoping soon that I can make, like, a little video to show you. But basically, it's awesome. Well, all I can say is awesome. One thing I'm not 100% certain on is if they'll allow you to import custom stamps, i.e. your own, and it'll stamp it automatically, or you'll only have a set of stamps we provide you. There's not a lot of information about it yet, as it's still kind of under development. Yes, on objects like tables, it would scratch on the tables, it would scratch on the posts, it would scratch anything. If you painted it over half this cup and half this table, it would do it on both. It basically spreads all over objects in that area if you want it to. It's designed to make it much more immersive and real. Let me show a couple examples of it. This is an early alpha shot of moss in a library. Yep. This is a great one. It's just kind of spread over this all of the surfaces, the window surfaces, the floor, the books. Great way to have like some ruin added to something really quickly. I'm hoping to learn more about this in a couple of days so I can speak to it better. Back here. Let me just find a blank page. I might need a new notebook soon. Oh my gosh, I'm down to like 15 pages. Oh, it's been fun, notebook. I got this actually about 6 months ago, and I've gone through it really quick. Different stream. Every page is like a different stream. Sorry, I'm writing some stuff down. You wonder if those books are about nature. What else we got? This one's cool. Hey, Shlomo, how you doing? Stormy, what up? In fact, we'll take a moment to welcome one and all to the stream who I may not have saw earlier when, you know, because the stream's been going for a bit and people have been dropping in, dropping out, dropping in. So we've got some new viewers in the last few minutes. I just want to say welcome, one and all. To those that know me, hello, hello. And to those that don't, my name is Mac. I'm the community manager for Dungeon Alchemist. Dungeon Alchemist is a map-making utility that is available on Steam that allows you to build beautiful, immersive 3D style maps that you export in top-down or can grab immersive screenshots or video clips in first person or in a cinematic drone shot to share with your players. We offer a free demo of Dungeon Alchemist as well on Steam, and it's a modest download. I think it's less than 7 gigs. So if you want to kind of try it out, check it out, feel free to do so. What we're sharing on the stream right now is some teasers from our next update, so I apologize there. We got a little sidetracked. In fact, we are actually showcasing maps. This is layers and layers of stream. So we were showcasing teasers, kind of giving some tutorial tips. And yeah, we were showcasing maps from our current Celebration Dam Challenge, which we need to get back to because we got limited time today to showcase all the entries. So again, BB, thank you so much for this amazing, amazing entry. Really appreciate your creativity and style and flair with this map. My favorite parts, again, inside of the tree here and the maze, the Hay Place maze. So thank you so much for your amazing contribution to the Celebration Dam Challenge. I will be reaching out to you between now and Monday afternoon to send you your prize, which is a $10 Hero Forge gift card. Additionally, your map will be featured in Monday's Cartomancer Chronicles. And let's see here. Yeah, you know, you can just kind of brag and show off and say, you know, you're an awesome map maker for the next few days. So congratulations, BB. Really, really do appreciate your contribution. We'll be going on to the next map. You're damn famous, as they say. Okay, let's start from the top left. This one here was incredibly clever. I thought it was incredibly unique and interesting. And it took a lot of, probably a lot of work to get this right. I don't even know. What are you on about? Hey, HCP in Javini at B-Sky. Thank you so much for the kind words. I love Dungeon Alchemist as well. I saw that. How are you doing? How are you doing? I see you're watching over on X. I appreciate that. So this is mind-blowing here. Happy New Year spelled entirely with the room draw tool. This would frustrate the heck out of me to do. I don't even know how they did it. It is a very impressive build, to say the least. Swords and synthesizers, that is a great question. And I think, you know, it's very easy to kind of get that impression based on kind of the phrasing. But what actually happens when you link your Hero Forge account, you don't get credits, you get 5 tokens, new tokens like these ones that are automatically added into your library on Dungeon Alchemist. They're not added into your Hero Forge library, they're just added right away into your character library here in DA. I believe it is like this priest here is one of them. I believe the sorcerer or the wizard is one of them. There's like 5 different ones that are automatically added. I have so many now, it's hard for me to remember. But I promise you did get them when you linked your account. They are just added. So it's like whatever you have in your Hero Forge library that you paid for and got the digital version of will be added. Plus those 5 pre-created tokens will be added as well automatically into this library. Let me see here. I believe there was some documentation about this way back when. I'd have to dig deep for it. 1 second. Trying to see if there's anything on our wiki about it. It won't be in your Hero Forge library, it'll be in your DA library. One moment. And I'm pretty sure they're essentially just added in these 3 categories: characters, monsters, and NPCs. Huh. You want to reload your Dungeon Alchemist really quickly? So you have 0 tokens in there at all? Because there should be a bunch of free tokens included. Lilandra, I am so confused as to how you accomplish this. So I am like, first off, just congratulations. Pat yourself on the back for that. That's some mad skills here. Okay, so when you click on this token menu, there is none here in any of these menus, any of these tabs. You obviously won't have matching to me because a lot of these are downloaded from like the workshop. So each of these tabs is empty for you right now. At minimum, you should have, under the Bite the Bullet tab, a bunch of tokens. And then under NPCs, monsters, and characters, there should be a few free tokens as well that are Hero Forge themed to a degree. If you're not getting that, what I would recommend is... This is just really quickly. Under Steam, if you right-click on Dungeon Alchemist and go to Properties, right? You can click Installed Files here, and you could click Verify Integrity of Game Files. Doing this will check and see if you have any corrupt files in your installation. If there are any that are corrupt or having problems, it will repair them and then reload DA afterwards. It should fix any problems you might be having with that. The other suggestion I can have is what Atlam said earlier. Under the Hero Forge tab here, unlink your Hero Forge account and then relink it. Remember, the tokens from Hero Forge will only appear if you've paid for them from Hero Forge as a 3D digital model, not 3D print, and not just create a model. So you have to purchase them from Hero Forge for them to import to any external source. Otherwise, there will be free tokens in the Bite the Bullet menu, the NPC, monster, and character menu. And then lastly, if you want, you can always download tokens from the Browse Asset menu under the Steam Workshop tab in the top menu. So if you go to Steam Workshop, Browse Assets, and then click Tokens, there's over like almost 800 tokens available to download here. Some are animated, some are simple, just flat gray, some are full color. Some are fantasy, in fact, most of them are. Some are sci-fi, cyberpunk, etc. Let me know here in a minute, Swords, and we'll try and help you out. That's one downside or drawback of the Hero Forge tokens. Hero Forge tokens, the only ones that'll appear on everybody's map. Oh, thank you so much. Appreciate it. The only ones that'll appear on everyone's map are the ones that we've given you under these tabs by default, like the Bite the Bullet ones, the NPCs, and whatever that we have included. So if for some reason, like basically when you put Hero Forge tokens in your map that are your personal ones that you've made and paid for, they'll show up when you load the map only. If you share it on the workshop, unfortunately, the licensing doesn't extend to other people. So it disappears. Those do, at least. So it's probably best in most cases to use other tokens unless it's only for your personal use. Like if it's a map that you're only using for yourself and your players, then that's fine to use Hero Forge tokens. But if it's for something you're going to share on the workshop and you want a lot of people to enjoy it and kind of get the gist of what you're sharing, you definitely need to do that. Let me know how many files it repairs, Swords. If it does. Okay, let's go on to the next map. Lalandra, this is seriously creative. I was very, very impressed with this. Like, I just thought it was very to the point and awesome. The lighting, the style, and I honestly still don't understand how you did some of this. This is very clever. Very good, like, shaping. Hey, Eric, how you doing? I am hyped for Sunday. This Sunday. Glad to hear it, my friend. So many good maps today because it's Damn Challenge Day, which means it's like everyone's A-game maps, right? This had like Dwarven Hall vibes, and I was all about it. I just wanted a diggy hole all day. Just look at this place. Hey, Lazarus, how you doing? Celebration at Duncast Hall. Nice little banners. When people say Dwarven styles don't exist in DA, come on, this looks pretty epic. I'm not gonna lie. Granted, it's all the Dwarven stuff in DA, but it is still Dwarven. I think they did a great job. It's an amazing map. Blue Mage, I think you did great. No, it's a joke in our community because people often say, how come I can't make Dwarven maps? And I get confused because there's stuff like this on the workshop that's fantastic and looks exactly the aesthetic that people are wanting, that kind of like Hobbit or Lord of the Rings styles. So this particular banner, Shlomo, would appear to be a celebration flag from the workshop which it is actually just between two poles, right? And in this case, the map maker likely just raised them up by disabling collisions. Remember, when you disable collisions, you can merge objects together, but you can also resize them, make them larger or smaller, far below or beyond their normal constraints. And then lastly, you can raise them up and down. So you can raise these flags up to a point where it feels like a nice cross section. Welcome, welcome. Hey, thank you for the follow, HCP in Zavini. I think you were watching us over on Twitter earlier, weren't you? And then also thank you for the like, John Mack on Facebook, and thank you for the follow, Hungry Kobold, a few minutes ago here on Twitch. I'm sorry I missed that. Ow. Oh, Lazarus, yeah, you don't need to use the table method. I'm so sorry you're still using that. I feel so bad. No, for almost a year and a half, you haven't had to use that method. So essentially, if you disable collisions, several things happen. Okay? First and foremost, it allows you to merge objects together. Right? If you have, well, this is a little bit harder because these pillars want to like fight each other. Let's say I wanted them like side by side. Notice how the bases of them are close together? Or I'm making it like a wider pillar. When collisions are off, that's the one thing that happens, but there's two secondary behaviors that are enabled. The second is you can scale objects far below or be above their normal constraints. So you can do gigantic or Lilliputian style assets. And then you can also raise objects up and down. So this little arrow here appears on the left side of the UI for the object after you disable the collision. I don't know. Dwarven pillars in like the 21st hall are like 80 meters tall. They were going hard in the 21st hall. Like, when they're running away, like, from all the orcs and the Balrogs in the background, and you see the pillars aside from them, and the orcs are crawling down them like the zombies in, like, World War Z. First off, why do the orcs never do that again in any other, like, battle, right? They just can only do it inside of the 21st halls. Oh, the tiny one? Sorry, Mondu. But yeah, I mean, dwarven pillars get pretty tall, if I'm not mistaken. They like to show off their stone craftsmanship. Okay, sword and synthesizers, all 5,811 files successfully validated. Go ahead and load the close Steam from the system tray, reload Steam, reload DA, and then once it's loaded up, let me know and we'll kind of walk through it together, okay? No, rotating floor textures isn't possible yet, but I will say that multi-level and roofing is coming in our next update, so there's like a lot of cool stuff on the horizon. Here, let me show you all a couple clips. Start this over. It starts with one clip. I don't know why. Sorry, that was awful. You know, they might have been goblins. You're right. I don't know. Goblins, orcs. Either way, they crawled up them walls like crazy, crazy, scary zombies. Canvas backgrounds. What do you mean by that, Lazarus? Can you expand upon that? Yes, it does. It does. It works on the green screen, and as you can see here, this is the canvas background. Blue, you probably could have done that had you started in the cave biome for your build. Unfortunately, changing it after is really hard because it'll likely delete all your objects. Yeah, ABC, always be collisioned. Honestly, when you toggle off collisions, you turn on the fun. Who was it that said that? Mondu the other day? If the collisions are on, that's like no fun in DA. When collisions are on, fun is off. I love it. Yes! The collision toggle is backwards. When collisions are on, fun is off. When collisions are off, fun is on. It should say fun over here on this side. Collisions, fun. Personally, if it were me, I don't think it should be just collisions, because I think it's misleading because it does several things, right? A lot of people don't know about the hidden behaviors, and I understand that. It's silly, right? That it doesn't, like... Anyway, moving on from that fact, I think it should say, like, advanced here, right? Or just have, like, a hamburger menu, kind of like we have, like here, in the object menu or other places. The light menu, etc. And then inside that hamburger menu would be 3 different toggles. One would say collisions. One would say, you know, raise lower objects and, or like Z axis, you know, unlock. And then the other one would say, you know, basically collisions, resizing, and give you the choice of which ones. You could do all 3, like apply all or mix and match which ones you want. In my opinion, giving people the choice, first off, would alert people to the options that are within this sub-menu, like the features that it offers. And secondly, give us more room for things down the road. Lamps. Collisions are great in certain cases. In fact, they're great because like auto snapping is in play, or yeah, you can get right up against the wall, but it'll also fight you sometimes, right? If you disable collisions, you have much more control over where you can place things. You can merge objects together, essentially. Watch this. I just made like a whole new pillar. Currently, right now, the collision menu is confusing because you think it's only one thing, but it's actually 3. So I think an advanced menu would lend credence to that. The size limiter is designed to allow the auto generation to fit within, you know, the sizes we want it to be, which are ideal for top-down export. I don't know. If it was unlocked to begin with, would all the AI go scawampus and just start throwing things out at big size? I don't really understand our AI fully. I'm sorry. I saw the talk in our Discord about our AI being deep blue, and I was like laughing, actually. Okay, so to clarify, your Hero Forge models, have you purchased any of them? Swords and synthesizers? Excuse me. I have models under the pawn, so you've downloaded some. I have no 3D, but nothing under the Hero Forge specific menu. Do you have any under the other menus? The characters, monsters, or NPCs, or bite the bullet? I want to clarify on these really quickly. So Blue Mage, thank you so much for sharing this lovely map. I really think you nailed the aesthetic of dwarves, a dwarven hall. And honestly, you don't really need it to be in a cave. You could just say this is in a cave. Because caves don't have windows and doors exterior except for at the cave opening, right? And this could be deep inside the mountain. So at the end of the day, if you just tell your players, hey, this is deep in a cave in a dwarven hall, you know, where they're celebrating the coronation of a new king or something like that, whatever. You've made several minis, but you haven't purchased them. So Hero Forge requires you to purchase the models before they actually link to external sources. So there's many different ways you can purchase a 3D model through Hero Forge. Can one of my moderators, Atlam Asmodeus, can you grab the Hero Forge video from YouTube and share it with Swords and Synthesizers on YouTube? We have a video that kind of guides you through the process and what type of model to buy. But Hero Forge requires, as part of the licensing agreement, to export a 3D model to a third-party source like ourselves or any other VTT. You must purchase it first as a 3D digital model. Now, they have two 3D options for purchase, 3D print and 3D digital. So it's kind of confusing. So make sure you purchase the 3D digital type. In fact, I'm just going to pull up their website, see what I can find. So here is a blue Morpho 3D model. If you add the model, when you add a model to your cart, right? Or before you add it, if you click buy, on this right side, you can scroll down and it says 3D digital right here. 3D digital. Oh, they changed this STL download. Thank you. It used to say 3D download, so now they changed the verbiage. That's nice. You click 3D digital right here, and this will work with Hailspire, Harpy, Dungeon Alchemist, Berserk, all these different services simultaneously, as long as you purchase it as this version. Once you purchase it, it will then export to all those services as long as your account is linked. So you know how you linked your account for Hero Forge, or if you haven't yet, when you go in this tab, there's an option to link your account, and you put in a code that's deep in your account settings, and that will allow you to import your tokens that you've purchased. I hope that answers you there. Thank you, gentlemen. Yeah, no worries. I know that's so confusing, right, Swords? And I'm sorry for the confusion and the issues there. As far as the free tokens you were concerned about, they should be spread through the character, monsters, and NPC menu. I'm almost positive if you have... Let's see, characters. It is this one here, the priest. If you have this priest here, you guaranteed have the tokens, the free ones. Essentially, we pre-made 5 tokens that you get as a bonus. They automatically pop into these menus when you link your Hero Forge account. Otherwise, they're not there. So back to your kind of base question. Kalali, any plans to add WebP format for image export? You know, Kalali, that's a great question. I would love to do that, as it's a more kind of slim, streamlined option. I'd also love PNG for like transparent backgrounds. I'm hoping at some point we add both. When and where, I don't know, but the devs have said at some point they would like to add them. So that's a good question. Let me see here. Oh, it does? That's good to know. Good to know. Well, thank you for the info. I added this to my list of things to discuss with the devs during my meeting with them on Monday. Got some suggestions for the new theme: home, travel, camp, underdark, Avernus. This one was really good. Let's get to the next map. So you did get the at least the base tokens for linking your account. However, any ones you've made on Hero Forge, if you want them to link up, you just gotta purchase them on Hero Forge and boom, they'll slide over. Next time you reload DA, they'll be there. This map is like all about time and clocks. I love it. It was messing with my brain. Can I just say this? Camp is a good one. I like camp. It's kind of broad. You made a video for me, Chim? Where's the video? Is it the one in the Damn Challenge channel? No, those are pictures, not videos, so that can't be it. In thread. Oh, I see it. I'll check it out. I'll check it out after the stream, okay? For sure. I've got this right here on my Discord tab now. Fantastic. You know, I'm sorry I didn't notice that before. Unfortunately, I try not to get super invested in the entries in the Damn Challenge channel until like the day before the stream. So I try to avoid chatting in there and showing any any bias essentially, because here's the thing. I try not to look at them early on and get like a favorite out the gate. I wait until all of the entries are in and look at them all at the same time, one after another. That way everyone gets an even chance to like, you know, get judged like all simultaneously and all, you know, with similar footing. Essentially, I'm trying to be as fair and unbiased as possible because I have to judge it myself for everything. So I essentially wait till all the entries are in the night before and start looking at them, downloading them, looking at them. Yeah, this is an amazing map. I really love this, and it messes with my head so much. There's so much clockwork and stuff going on. And Swedish Cook, isn't this your asset here? The gear pit? Yeah, it is. Okay, you confirmed. This is great. I love it. So I'm sure that's just gotta be like some kind of awesome seeing your asset in another person's map. You know what'd be cool is if you added varying speeds for these. So like slow, medium, fast, and then it's just the different toggled states. By the way, Swedish Cook, can I just say your submissions on the workshop have been fantastic. Like an absolute inspiration. I have loved seeing your 3D models. Hey Dyson, how are you? Asmodeus, don't sell yourself short either. Your 3D models are like rad fantabulistic. It is a clock bird. There's a bird inside there. That's so clever. This is so surreal. Honestly, I feel like I'm in like an Escher painting or something. Time flies. This guy over here. Fifth Ninja Turtle. Okay, I need to know, what's the fifth Ninja Turtle's name? Because wasn't there like a girl Ninja Turtle that was in the third movie or in the TV show or something? Or is this... Oh, it could be Dolly, for sure, for sure. Does have that Dolly flair to it, for sure. All the puns for Rev. I love this, though. Like, all the different varied size clocks, the clockworks, all the different things floating and kind of, like, disturbed. The flow of time, exactly. It does feel It's a neat aesthetic. Oh my gosh, I did not notice this till this just now. There is a that's one of the big clocks just hiding back there. So, did you all know that the clock, this grandfather clock, actually shows the time on your computer clock? It just changed. Did you see that? It just flipped. I saw it go. It's 1:16 p.m. in Vegas right now, and that's what time it is on this clock. I think it's a beautiful map. Very well done. You know how hard it is to pick a winner when there's so many amazing maps like this? Okay, on to the next one. We got to keep moving. Running out of time. Oh. Here. One thing I loved about this map is the layout. I really love how creators have started to kind of unbind themselves from the grid and make villages and towns that have, you know, angled buildings and stuff like that that aren't like all locked on that grid frame, first off. Secondly, okay, this map has this cool setup in this corner over here for the whole like party event. And I thought, how do you unlock a building from the grid, Shlomo? That's a really good question. Let me show you all. So when you're making a building, let's just draw a floor plan here, right? Before you generate the building by clicking the check mark, you can move the building. And now I'm already off the grid. See that? Now you can also rotate the building. Yeah. These little arrows here, you can also raise or lower the building. All this can be done in the current build of Dungeon Alchemist. This isn't some advanced beta build for the next update. This is stock. I'm sorry, Shlomo, your second statement there has got me at a loss. I'm not sure what you mean. Currently, no. I'm hoping in the next update you might be able to do a bit of that, but not right now. I don't think we have like supported or hired buildings per se. But notice how this building is not on the grid. It's like perpendicular to the grid at like a weird angle to it. I love it. Love it! A little confused about this bridge going into bushes, but we good. Got a little camp over here. One thing you could do, though, if you don't use the DA buildings for the, like, what you're trying to do, Shlomo, if you, say, downloaded a, let's just use this shed here as an example. It's an object. We can raise this shed, right? And put something under it. I'm just going to grab these wood platforms as a simple example. So you could make a custom, you know, like raised building. Something like this. So it's up on stilts, right? But you would have to use objects to create this effect. You would not use the room draw tool. But yeah, a village on stilts currently would have to be done entirely by hand using objects. Mainly because we don't have any stilted options for our buildings at the moment. this up just a little bit. But as you can see here, it's essentially on stilts. There's lots of wood platforms like these that are stilted. There's stone stilted platforms, wood stilted platforms, all throughout these metal here. So you could definitely use these and put like objects from the workshop. There's a whole collection of houses, medieval modular buildings. You could download this whole pack. It's 17 assets and it's a bunch of houses. Throw those up on stilts, you're good to go. Alternatively, there is packs of assets that are like water deep style houses. Where are those? These ones, the Wharf Asset Collection, are great for stilted stuff because there's lots of stilted stuff in it. You could use this in tandem. This is 30 assets for 433 megabytes. A really good collection created by Asmodeus or Dallas RT on the workshop. Adding a roof can be done using objects, either from the workshop, you know, or some things that pass for a roof, like stock. I mean, like this building here, the shed has a roof built into it. It's an object with a roof. There's about a dozen or so objects that do that already, tents and a few other things. But the next update will have roofing built into it that you can toggle pretty much just as quickly. They're actually working on angled roofing right now in the background. The devs are. I saw some shots for it. Another thing they're working on right now that I'm really excited for is a mass exporter. Batch exporting. So essentially you can create several versions of, you know, export several versions of the map simultaneously. So you want snow and morning, evening, afternoon, night. Maybe you want different DPIs, animated, non-animated. So you have all these versions of the map simultaneously exporting in a batch. But yeah, there are hundreds of roofing options on the workshop that work really great. I highly recommend just going into the Browse Asset tab and typing roof. But you could definitely create a stilted village by hand. You just got to get a little creative. You know what I mean? Kind of back to the build here. Sorry, I got it distracted again. Y'all, I love helping you out so much. Damn challenge day, though, does make it a little struggle bus. Honestly, I can't. What was that I said that sounded amazing, Dyson? Oh, yeah, the batch export. So Quentin is working on batch exports right now, and it's cool. Let's just say that. And I worked with him closely on this because I gathered community feedback from some of our like most prolific map makers, and also over several streams I wrote down feedback from community members on the streams. So that's another benefit of joining the streams is often I'll ask questions to probe our community to get insight, like a poll, and I'll ask you what you think about it, and I'll gather that data and share it with the devs. Someone was telling, Sack was telling me he does like 20, 30 exports for each map. It's insane. So the batch export tool is designed to be modular in that you can have multiple different settings of like exports and save them, and then it'll just kind of do it one after another after another. That's part of the reason I paired with him. I also talked to, you know, just various different creators in the community to see what they thought. Because they often think of things I don't, or the devs don't. But pairing with y'all in the stream was also a great success, was because we came up with a few ideas there too. Oh my goodness, Rev. It'll probably be really beautiful done in fun with objects. Though I hate seeing everyone wait to build maps simply because the new update. I think right here is my favorite part of this map, though. This little square with the statue with like the ritualistic kind of offerings in front of it. Some coins, some pumpkins. You know, Swedish Cook said a great few list of suggestions earlier. I think camp was the winner, though. Camp was kind of the community, like, winner. Oh my gosh, look at this. Such a great use of the room draw tool, getting all these different shapes within the room. I think a thing often people forget is within a room you can draw other rooms. My only concern with that, Dyson, is backwards compatibility. You know what I mean? We're going to see how backwards compatible things are as we go forward. But yeah, you can start adding rooms within rooms, y'all. Make a circular room in here. I'm sorry. I hate to bring up the obvious, but that's something I'm like... Here, let me write that down. I'm going to write that down so I can talk with the devs about it. I mean, within a square structure, you often have smaller rooms, right? I just like that all these shapes are within this square. You know what I mean? A little closet in the corner there. Isn't that great? Several closets in this room, actually. A movie tie-in? That would be pretty cool. I love pop culture references and maps. You know me too well, Random Ladybird. Okay. Just did that one. Let's hop over this one. You say secret passage opportunities. In your case, there would be a couch in that closet. Secret tunnel. Secret tunnel. You didn't trademark it before I did, so technically I own it. I'm just kidding. This was the creepiest and best part of this map. Like, I was simultaneously scared and enamored by this. These effigies are absolutely fantastic. Got a Burning Man vibe. Festivus or whatever. Oh my gosh, I didn't notice that. Whoops. That's a little, whoops. Gotta turn away there. Shlomo, you can do a fire effect through the effect tab, right? You go to fire. So the effects tab has a lot of varied living effects that you can add to make a map feel a little bit more alive. A little bit of smoke. Those are feet. Okay, what? That is something else entirely. I'm rotating it. I'm sorry for the censorship. This is family friendly, okay? My favorite thing is the portal entry to this place. So it's like people teleport here and then they go party and just vibe out, do their burning effigies and pyres, and then leave. I like this map a lot. Actually, I think it was very cool. Let's take a look at it from top down. It's got a very clean look, a nice assortment of colors and lighting. The layout is very clean. You get into this view. You've got various aspects of the map that give you things to do. Food, a little kind of party pole where people can dance around it and have fun. The effigies, though, is what really I enjoyed the most about this map. They are just silly. The beacons are lit. Gondor calls for aid. Fantastic. Beautiful, beautiful map. Okay, moving on. We got 3 maps left. Oh, wait, no, we only have 2, because that one's BB's. Okay, we could spend a little bit more time in this map. Let's take a closer look. But Shlomo, I encourage you to check out the effects panel. In fact, everyone here, check out effects, because there's tons of different ones. I mean, just in the fire tab alone, there's like 8 or 9 different fire options. You have different magic options. Let's add some fireflies over here. Adds a little bit of spritz to the map. And remember, you can change the brush size to a smaller brush. Make it less dense so there's less effects that appear or more. I really love adding a little bit of some steam or fog around stuff like fire, you know. You got some black smoke. So, Atlam's dropping some links in chat right now, and I just want to remind everyone that daylight savings in the new year and Discord don't go well. Unfortunately, the events that we have set up in our Discord kind of got destroyed over the new year and the last daylight savings period. Most of them reset, and essentially everyone who had clicked interested and had RSVP'd to our Discord events, which remind you of upcoming streams, it's just gone. I don't know what happened. It got broken. So 3 out of our 4 events reset. So essentially, if you were RSVP'd to those events and getting reminders through Discord, and you're like, man, why am I not getting reminders? That's why. Mapmaker Monday was the only one that didn't reset, but the Dam Challenge, Office Hours, and the Dam Stream, each one of them reset 2 or 3 times, and we tried to fix it. The fix was to nuke the event and recreate it so it would just stop resetting every week. It was the only way we could fix it after that. So if you were RSVP'd to these events, make sure you follow the link, click interested. That'll give you a reminder via your Discord app when the stream goes live. That way you don't miss out on future streams if you're trying to attend them. And remember, every stream is AMA format, so if you need any of your questions related to Dungeon Alchemist answered, if you got any inquiries, suggestions, feedback, hop into the stream, let me know, and I will do my best to provide insight and guidance in real time throughout the stream. Additionally, if we're offline, the stream isn't live, you can ask us on any of our social platforms, or you can drop into our Discord and create a question or support thread, spin up a thread, and you can get support pretty much 24 hours a day. Either myself, one of the devs, one of our mods, or one of our very passionate and informative community members will likely jump in and assist you. So it's a very great way to get, guidance or assistance throughout the week on your map making. Maybe you're trying to follow a very specific theme or aesthetic, trying to export and your exports aren't working. Maybe you're trying to build multi-level and you're trying to figure out how people are doing it right now without the next update, etc. Those kind of things you can definitely get support for. Okay. Let's see here. I like the various aspects of the map, though, like the pyre up on top of the hill. Really just, like, draws people into the event before you light off the effigies. My only concerns is the hay guys are, like, right up against the forest backdrop. And so I'm worried that, you know, when you light them on fire, inevitably, that it'll likely start a forest fire. And the smoky bear in me is not happy. But you know what? I'm sure at the end of the day, it won't be a problem. Fire for the fire god. You didn't plan to have them burning? You have these massive hay effigies and you're not concerned not once that someone will set them on fire? Sabka, it's a beautiful map. I love it. But you should always think the worst of your players. One firebolt, and that's done. This whole forest is done. Ah, gotcha. They're like, I don't care we're in a forest. I said cast fireball. Okay? Players and logic don't often mix. Right, random ladybird? Yes. We call it Fireball's Law. If they have access to Fireball, they will use it. I would myself, honestly, I'm not exempt. When I'm a player, I'm equally as dumb. So I definitely do stupid things as a player. So Sword, that is a little bit more of an advanced concept. When it comes to 3D models, though, we do have an assortment of creators in our community who love to help with that. We do have a wiki guide that kind of guides through Blender and importing and stuff, but there is a lot more to it when you get into LODs and animations. Asmodeus, are you around still, or are you kind of lurking? Swedish Cook might know as well. What I would recommend, Swords and Synthesizers, if you're not already in our Discord, hop into our Discord, spin up a support thread, ask that exact question, because Sack, Michelle, Asmodeus, a bunch of different creators know a lot more about this than I do. Unfortunately, as the community manager, I'm not like the most adept 3D modeler. I do know enough to get myself in trouble. Like enough to get my feet wet. I mean, if you are a evocation wizard, doesn't it not hurt your teammates? Or yourself? Also, if you get some fire resistance in there or something. This week I got hit by a fireball from a party member. Oh no, Swedish Cook. Isn't that the way? This is the way. I love this map, first off. This entry point right here, the infinity entry point, where you can like drop people off for this fancy affair at this manor. It just screams like some sort of like very fancy soiree or clue or any type of, you know, theme along that. Awesome swords. Honestly, I wish I could give you more guidance on that, but that is definitely something I'm not the best about. Though I will say we do have a whole entry on our wiki about that exact thing, and I would recommend reading it while you're waiting. Can you link the wiki entry for the, what is it called? The asset importer? I believe it goes in detail about Blender and what kind of settings and stuff you should do there as well, a little bit. Yeah, Michelle knows quite a bit about this stuff. Asmodeus, Sack, a few different creators are very prolific and have made hundreds of models. I would say there is like a group of 5 to 10 creators that have uploaded over half of the 3D models on our workshop because they're just very passionate about making and sharing them with everyone to use. Specifically Fae Gardens. Well, can I just say this right here is fancy AF and I love it, okay? This entry point. I like the aesthetic that you nailed here. So, first off, I love it. Thank you, Asmodeus. Still, Michelle, you've done some cool, like, skyboxes and stuff, too. When I first saw this, I just smiled. I, like, was like, oh, this is great. Oh! I was wondering what you used. Headstones, tombstones. Very clever, very clever. So our friend here, Rev, sunk some headstones down into the ground, tombstones, to use as, you know, the flagstones around the driveway here. And it actually gives you a little bit more roundedness to it. It's not as rigid as, say, a freestanding wall because it's a smaller piece. That's smart. Though it does give me trauma flashbacks to my hammer based rail system in my early mine. I get flashbacks about it all the time when I was in the trenches in the early days of map making, when everything was just so done by hand. I think that's why I'm so, like, blasé about it. I'm like, oh, you can just do this by hand, and it's so much easier now than it ever was, like, a year and a half ago. Like, when you had to resize things on a carpet, or, like, to raise something up, you had to, like, make it invisible. Oh my gosh. Dungeon Alchemist has come a long way in just a short amount of time. I remember when you could not raise an object up, right? You could not do this. This was just such a foreign concept, right? Or you couldn't expand it past its normal constraints. Our community used to come up with the most clever ways around stuff. So take this table, for instance. Maybe I want this carriage to be just a little bit larger. Put it on the table, resize it over and over and over again until you got a massive carriage. That's how people got around stuff back in the day. What did Gamrot say? I had a druid that's quite happy to try and burn the whole forest down if she got stuck in a spider web. It seems counterproductive, right? I mean, like, doesn't the druid, like, wouldn't they cry for, like, every leaf and animal that got hurt in that? But I get it. They're trapped. They can't protect other forests if they're not alive. Right? It's for the greater good. So the easiest way to raise objects back in the day, there was 2 methods. Y'all ready for this? This is insane. It'll blow your mind how much it's how far things have come. So under the masonry menu, there was a pillar. I don't even know if it's still here. This pillar. This pillar was one of the few thin objects that had a collider on top of it, which meant You could place objects at the right area and put it on top of it. So people would use this pillar to like raise objects up sometimes. That's another way, because it was underneath it in the export, so you would never see it in a top down, right? The other way was once we got abstracts, and this is so silly. I just love talking about how wonky DA used to be. This cube here, let's put this statue on top of it, right? And make this cube kind of large. If you insert a blank PNG into this abstract object, which all abstracts you can insert images into. And I kind of figured this out when we were in like beta testing for this, and I showed it to the community. They're like, what? I remember it was such a big deal. But if you insert like an invisible image into there, now this is floating on top of that box. This was like the old way of doing things. Things have changed so much since before this option. Map making has gotten so much easier and streamlined over the last few years. The pillar takes you back, right? I haven't used a pillar in so long. Sorry, Rev, to get distracted from your map. We started talking about that cram, though. Creative asset misuse was like the way to get things done back in the day. And as DA becomes more full-featured, I definitely miss those old days where everyone was coming up with the most creative and unique solutions to problems. Ram. We had to walk uphill both ways in the snow to make maps. It seems very dangerous to eat in the garden here. Well, I refuse to let you call it cream, so we're not gonna have that discussion anymore. But yeah, this seems like a risky play. You're like in here eating, and then like one of the many plants just like misses you with some sort of thing or tries to eat you. Just take snacks. Yeah, you need to toss some meat over to it. Absolutely love it. It's a beautiful build, by the way. I love the assortment of room shapes and all the various like areas to explore. The gardens, You're not responsible. Yeah, you need a little sign in here, right? Ooh, someone's painting them. Cool. I didn't notice that in my first pass. I always miss things. I like that the whole manor is like contained with a fence. Oh, you actually did the whole thing as a room, huh? That's flooring, isn't it? I didn't notice that till now. A fun hidden shrine. Hidden shrine. Hidden shrine. Where is it? Where is it? Outdoors or indoors? Give me a hint. Follow the path outside. Cool. Hold on. This dining room is a mood. I like it a lot. Okay, follow. There's two paths. Let's follow the red brick road. Ah! I found it. Secret shrine. Through the mountains. Hidden under the trees. We used to play a game on stream for me to find people's like signatures. People would hide like a watermark in their builds where they just like hide a little asset or their signature somewhere, and I'd have to find it. Swedish Cook always hid the Swedish Cook guy, the Muppet. from Jim Henson's The Muppets. If you're not familiar. Anyway, in a painting usually, and Sack likes to write his name somewhere, and he'll put like a sausage in his map somewhere. Oh, perfect. Awesome. I'm glad that helped. And if you need further guidance, assistance, you know, or more, feel free to drop in and spin up a thread in the Discord. Like I said, we're a really like helpful and wholesome community. A lot of people in our community want to help each other out and guide each other, because at the end of the day, you know, if we're sharing maps and 3D models with each other, it only enriches the community and makes us grow as a whole, right? Asmodeus, one of our moderators, or Dallas RT on the workshop, if you've downloaded any 3D models, he has made hundreds of models and is quite skilled at it. His background, just to give you an idea, he works with Pixar, so he knows quite a bit about this stuff, just to say the least. So if you need any guidance, Asmodeus is great. Sack also made hundreds of models. I don't mean to volunteer them up, but they know far more than I do at this stuff at this point. Me and Wim and some of the mods fill out the wiki, but anyone actually can technically make a wiki entry if they wanted to. Okay, we got one more map to check out, so let's hurry and do that. Rev, thank you for sharing this, brother. Fantastic work. We already looked at BB's first. Get over to Geronimo. Okay. So Geronimo really killed it with this map. In this like kind of symmetrical, neat like trench, or like, I guess you could call it like a canal, really. Definitely looks man-made, not like a river. So there's like this massive canal system. And then this beautiful burning effigy over here that he built. That's a good question. Hey, Atlam, you should know that I actually brought up the Fantasy Grounds export issue again with the devs. The animated export. That, and there is another issue with exports that was discovered recently where I guess animated exports drift down a pixel per frame. And by the like end of the export, your map is down like 30 pixels, and it's really off-centered. And I don't know how no one noticed this till now, but I don't know if it's a recent bug or whatever, but hopefully the animated exports will get either a overhaul in the next update or a patch shortly after. I basically just went to them and said, these two issues are causing tons of problems. We need to suss it out ASAP. It needs to be added on the to-do list. Yeah, the effigy is definitely horrific, but so cool. This is definitely a Burning Man. I never noticed it either, Michelle. That's the thing. Like, a lot of people don't notice it. The person who did notice it, I guess they have a background in video editing, so they noticed it, like, right away. The runes on the rocks, those are actually part of the rock. This particular rock is an asset, a dolmen, that has it on it. And it's just sunk into the ground. I mean, you're welcome to, but honestly, I'm sure we can figure it out. We've got some really brilliant dudes in the background working on it, I'm sure. I know that Quentin told me he would take a look at it after he finishes up a couple of his projects. And Quentin's just super smart. But if he does need help testing, I'll let him know that you're interested. So Danger Weasel uploaded a bunch of like rock assets, primitive, etchings and whatnot. Very recent upload to the workshop. Let's see if there's like this dolmen here. But if you look at the collections, go to most recent. Pretty sure these like rocks here. There's all these different basalt columns and like etchings on rocks, megalithic rocks. These are great. These are fantastic. And they match a lot of ours. I really love these basalt columns. But you can download this whole collection. It's only 58 megabytes for 35 assets. And it's free, obviously, as long as you own a copy of Dungeon Alchemist. But yeah, I think that Geronimo really killed it with this map. It was a heavy contender for the top. For sure, yeah, runes and stuff. The stamp tool will definitely make short work of that. You'll be able to put them on whatever, really. Sword and synthesizers are, if you're doing animated exports, that's where the issue is. But if you do still exports, you shouldn't really find any problems at the moment. But animated exports are kind of where the issue lies at the moment. There's two prevailing issues. Fantasy Grounds exports for animated maps are buggy. There's something wrong with the codec or export settings, and it causes the export to essentially artifact and have all sorts of issues. It's like pink and pixelated and problematic, so it doesn't work right now. And then I'm pretty sure Foundry exports as well are affected with a separate issue where each frame it drops the video down 1 pixel. So it's just like, you don't notice it at first, but over time you slowly see it. And it's, especially if you have like labels over the map and you're looking at it, the labels stay still, but the map moves down. And so it's really kind of frustrating. Quentin at the moment is working on the batch exporter, and I think after that he'll be working on some bug fixes, hopefully. Quentin is super, super good at really kind of hammering out all the specifics and making sure everything works good, though. Quentin is the person who handles all the bug reports. So when you submit a bug report through the feedback tab here, Quentin gets it. In fact, he got a message the other day from a community member that said, "No problem, I just wanted to say thank you, Quentin, for all you do." And he screenshotted it and sent it to me. He's like, "This is so cool." He's like, "I think the community knows what I do now." Because I was doing like introductions across our social networking of all our devs and posted like a picture and a short little blurb about them. Anyway, so anytime you submit a bug report, Quentin is the one who looks over it, does the testing with it. Yeah, I do hope that over time they look to either update their Unity version and try to, get VP8, because it's like we're also using Unity and we support both, but it's completely different in our like kind of needs and exporting and whatnot. Swords and synthesizers, appreciate that. And definitely it's a good idea, at least when you're exporting animated maps, to make a backup of the map as a still. What if you load an animated map and your players have problems loading it? One of your players inevitably will be a weak link that has like a potato hamster wheel type computer, or their internet is throttling them, or has limited data, or They're in a rural location that doesn't have that great of speed. So you essentially want to cater your campaign, your production of your campaign, especially in an online campaign, to the weakest link. Always have, standalone still maps without animation, that are small, easy, quick to load. That way, just in case, the animated map doesn't work, you're not sitting there struggling and frustrated. Do it. I dare you. Go say hi to him. I'm sure he'll love it. I mean, don't abuse it daily, but one time's fine. These cages over here have me slightly concerned. It looks like ritualistic sacrifice. Just throwing that out there. Smart. Consummate nerd, this is a wicker Burning Man. It's like an effigy. So the last dam challenge was celebration, and this was a kind of Burning Man celebration here. Looks pretty cool. So speaking of the dam challenge, let's go ahead and type up the new theme here. The next dam challenge is going to be camp. Simple theme with kind of an open-ended option for everyone. So the next 2 weeks, your dam challenge is camp. Using camp as inspiration, make a map of any shape or size. And if you are wanting to participate in the dam challenge, you must submit that map to the dam challenge channel in Discord. Remember, at the top of that channel, there's rules pinned. You must follow those rules in order to qualify. It's like 3-4 rules, really easy to follow. As long as you follow those rules while submitting your map is qualified. You have a chance to win a $10 Hero Forge gift card. If your map is the winning map, it's the first map featured during the Dam Challenge stream, which means a lot of eyes are on your creation. You get a lot of recognition, and you get to flex your map maker muscle against the community. Lastly, you also win a spot in our weekly newsletter, so the winner gets their map featured in the map showcase section of the Dam Challenge, or the weekly Cartomancer Chronicles. So get a little bit of recognition, get a $10 Hero Forge gift card, and basically your map is just kind of immortalized forever in our community as an awesome, beautiful submission that is part of the Dam Challenge collection. Anyway, I just noticed that we're past the hour, so I want to give the community a moment. If you have any questions, suggestions, feedback, anything for me before we wrap up the stream, please let me know. That way we can cover it before the stream ends. Again, I want to say thank you to all the contributors of the Dam Challenge, everyone who participated in the Celebration Dam Challenge and, shared a map. I know it took a lot of effort. I know a lot of people were struggling with the theme, but I appreciate everyone who put in the extra time, the effort, and made sure that their submission was in on time and available for everyone to enjoy. If you're looking to participate in the next Dam Challenge, remember you have between now and the 24th of January to create your map. I'll be posting all the extra information, the submission details in the Dam Challenge channel between now and Monday afternoon. When I do post that, you can start submitting your maps, but between now and then, kind of think about it, start working on it, get a head start if you want to, but don't submit until after I put in the congratulations to the past winner and the theme information in the Dam Challenge channel. Quick bit of information before we end the stream. Our next stream is Mapmaker Monday. Every Monday across all of our stream channels, which, we're live right now, multi-streaming on Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Steam, etc. We'll be streaming Monday, and I'm building a map live for y'all to watch and learn and share ideas for the build. and just genuinely hang out and get to know each other as cartographers, map makers, GMs. But also during that stream, you can get live support. So if you need any of your concerns or questions addressed, pop in the stream, let me know, and I will provide you with live support during that stream. We're live for 2 hours. That starts at 9 a.m. Pacific. That's 12 p.m. Eastern and 5 p.m. UTC. During that time, I'm building an ancient cemetery map, which is coming along quite well. It's I'd say about 50-60% done. And it's getting a lot more detail each week. In fact, I'll load that up so we can take a look at it before the stream ends, so you can kind of see and follow along. The following stream is Wednesday. It's office hours. That is Discord exclusive. That stream is not a multi-stream. It's only in our Discord. So if you're a member of our Discord, you can participate in that. The office hour stream, think of it as kind of a hangout area session where you can get to know people in our community, share ideas for your maps, your campaign, your encounters, stat blocks, etc. So we talk about, theory crafting and a session prep and stuff like that. But also we provide real-time support in AMA format. So you can ask me anything Dungeon Alchemist related and I will provide guidance for you in real time. Also, it's just a great place to see teasers. I kind of spoil the office hours participants. This last week, I loaded up the beta build and showed them kind of multi-level building inside of the beta build, which, it's a great way to kind of showcase what's coming up in our next update. I am very excited and eager for office hour streams because the energy and the kind of overall format is a little bit more laid back and fun than our normal streams. Anyway, if you want to participate in those, make sure you click interested on the event in our Discord. That way you get reminded, and then you can pop into the Dungeon Alchemist HQ channel and hang out and get real-time support. Finally, our next stream after that is on Saturday. It's the opposing opposite Saturday stream. So every other stream on Saturday is the Dam Challenge, but this next one is called the Dam Stream. The Dam Stream, a little bit confusing there, but it is a focus on showcasing maps from the Steam Workshop and 3D assets from the Steam Workshop. So we'll pull up maps that our community has shared. Maybe you shared a map recently and you want us to check it out. We'll pull it up and take a look at it. Or we'll just look at ones that look interesting and kind of appealing and pull them up and share them and showcase them on the stream. Essentially, the whole point of that stream is to showcase our community's work, give them a spotlight, and let other people know about these amazing maps and 3D models so they can add them to their collection. Really quickly, this map is pulling up finally. That is a good question, BB. I am always an advocate for accessibility in any way possible. I have tried numerous times to kind of push for that, at least a base compatibility with it. I think after we leave early access, it'll be much more likely than before, mainly because we're in a constant state of flux and it's really hard to commit to kind of a certain key layout until then. But I will say that right now, I know Steam, the big picture tools, you can create, controller layouts pretty easily. But just to give you an idea, my son has really bad carpal tunnel. It runs in my family. My mom and my uncle and my grandma had it. It afflicted them really bad. They couldn't do much with their hands for some entire portions of the day sometimes, or entire days, streaks. So my son has this same problem, and he loves gaming, but it's hard for him to use a mouse or a controller without it really hurting his wrists. So we actually got him one of the Microsoft accessibility controllers. It's like a big white pad with bigger buttons, and you can interface it with like cool little toggles, switches, and custom joysticks and stuff. I fully and that's not me saying I understand everyone's plight, but from my perspective as a father, I am all about adding accessibility to Dungeon Alchemist and as a community manager as well. I am all about getting that done at some point. I think it just needs to be done right. For now, oh, autoimmune is another thing I am all about, like, supporting. My wife has lupus, so autoimmune disorders run in my family too. It really is something, like, I'm all about advocacy and making sure accessibility is strong with Dungeon Alchemist. We actually had a creator in our community about a year ago who reached out to me, and they only have access to one hand and like one of the fingers on their hands. And so they were concerned about a few aspects of DA, and we altered them at that time. And I do think over time, as we get closer and closer to full release or leaving early access, it will be easier for us to address accessibility and compatibility issues with, say, controllers, Steam Deck, etc. Sword and Synthesizer, thank you so much. I'm glad you popped in. It was nice to meet you. I appreciate you dropping in and, you know, asking questions. I love that I was able to provide you with some guidance. I hope it helped you out to any degree, even a small iota of a degree, and will help you with your map making journey. I honestly, I wish I had a now solution, BB. Right now, the best thing I would say is Steam Big Picture. It's like an extended mode of Steam. They offer controller support for any game. You can make a controller configuration for any game. I was laid up for almost a year, and I was unable to essentially walk or, like, you know, lift, sit up and do things because of my sciatic nerve was like heavily damaged, and I was in like a bad way before I worked for DA. And during that time, I was essentially bedridden, and I was able to set up my VR headset remotely to my computer, right? And I was only able to do anything through that remote, like, virtual access to my computer from my VR headset. And it opened my eyes to, like, the plight of people who have, you know, deal with this for their entire life. I really, really don't take any of my health for granted anymore. Because once I recovered, it was totally different outlook on life, you know what I mean? But I definitely, it's a big motivation for me to make sure that, accessibility as well as, localization are realized at some point. I just think it's really a difficult time in DA's development to address it fully right now. So I hope with time we do address it, and I will be a big advocate for it behind the scenes constantly. Just know that. That is my commitment to you and our community, to make sure that Dungeon Alchemist is accessible for as many people as possible, regardless of their, you know, their physical situation, their age, their financial situation, etc. Locale, whatnot. Anyway, thank you everyone for being here. I appreciate you all so very, very much. If you enjoyed the stream and, this is your first time hanging out with us, make sure you hit that follow button. That way you can find us in the future. Like, subscribe, share, etc. before you end today. That way we can promote our small indie development company and get the word out about Dungeon Alchemist. But thank you everyone for being here. I appreciate your continued support in our community initiatives. Whether you were a creator that shared a map today, again, congrats BB Skate on that win. And to everyone else that participated in the Celebration Dam Challenge. I know it was a challenging theme. Whether you were actively chatting today and providing support, or just hanging out, chit-chatting with our community members, and being an active part of our cartographer community, or if you were even just lurking today, I appreciate you all being here, being a part of this stream, supporting our community initiatives, Thank you so much. It means the world to me as the community manager, just watching our community thrive and grow. I mean, right now we have like well over 60 people, close to 70, 80 people watching across all platforms. It's quite impressive. You know, considering, you know, when we started, we get like 5-10 viewers on Twitch. It's nice to watch this community grow. I am the proud papa. Very, very, very excited to see us grow as a whole and excited for what, you know, the future holds. Thank you everyone for being here. Again, my name is Mac, the community manager for Dungeon Alchemist. Dungeon Alchemist is a map making utility available on Steam. You can check it out right now and see all the information about it. It's paired with the Steam Workshop. There's an offering of over 10,000 maps and 7,000 community shared assets that are available for free for anyone who owns a copy. And remember, Dungeon Alchemist offers a free demo, so you can try before you buy. If you're interested in giving it a check, checking it out and seeing how it runs on your computer, you can test drive it, so to speak, and make sure it runs on your system before you invest any time or money in it. Thank you again, everyone, for being here. Again, my name is Mac, the community manager for Dungeon Alchemist. We'll see you next time I give a damn. Mac out. Bye! Thank you, everyone, for being here. We're going to run a short Dungeon Alchemist theme ad, and we're going to end the stream. So, I hope you enjoy laughing.
You stand before the long, dark road to the fabled realm of Goyak-Ta, and before...
Who do we see?
I don't know, a goblin.
I kill him!
But before she does, I, Gilliam of Firth, demand to know the goblin's name.
Hi, my name is Woblin.
Where do you live there, Woblin?
I don't think that's relevant.
Well, but I, Gilliam of Firth, demand to seek the goblin's abode.
Clever, find family, kill entire bloodline. I like it.
Seriously, we're doing this? Okay, well, won't be needing that anymore, will I?
Ever get caught by your players with your pants down? Dungeon Alchemist lets you create wonderful maps for any encounter in seconds.
Oh, Woblin, that's a very impressive cheese collection you've got there.
Yeah, it is quite impressive, yes. But you know what's more impressive? This map I have to the fabled realm of Goyak-Ta. Please take it and leave. Close the door behind you.
Mr. Woblin, I cannot help but notice that you have a secret tunnel underneath your cabinet. Care to explain?
Download Dungeon Alchemist, the AI-powered map maker, on Steam today.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Appreciate you tuning in for that little silly commercial, courtesy of our friends over at One For All Deerstalker Pictures. Thank you again for tuning in. We'll see you next time I give a damn. Back out. Bye. Poor Woblin, right? He's the victim of all of our angst. I know there's some Goblin fans out there that just do not like that ad, but you know what? Woblin needs to... He needs to suffer, I guess. It's for our enjoyment. See you later.